worship. This is your man, Sonny Wayne Fella, coming to you this day concerning some very, very important issues in Liberia. You know, I am proud to be a Liberian. I know we've heard that they're trying to have this dual citizenship with Liberia and other parts of the world. That's something I welcome wholeheartedly. And I just hope and pray that it will work with the United States of America. Because there are so many of us who really would like to return home and try to develop our country. You know, we visited other countries like Ghana and Nigeria and now Sierra Leone and Tanzania, Uganda, other countries that was visited. And we've seen the development that have come about. Even though the government should be responsible, so to speak, but those of us who are citizens of these countries, or especially Liberia in particular, have the responsibility to go home and develop the country. But there are issues that need to be dealt with before we can definitely return home. And we all should understand that. Those of us in the diaspora, we should know that everywhere we live, we want safety and security. It happened that one of my commenters made a statement that after she or he watched our video concerning a lady's perspective on her visit to Liberia, we did not really touch on safety and security. So I promised her or him that my next video was going to be on that. We see today the situation in Liberia, or we've heard about the situation in Liberia, talking about the late and former president's sons. What happened to them? We realize that these men and even auditors and a lady was murdered. And I don't know how far these investigations have gone. But it hurts me and it burns my heart to know that these things are happening in Liberia, and unfortunately, there are no conclusions. I don't know if anyone has been arrested concerning the death of the late Torbert's son, the late President Tubman's son, and some other people who I understand, people went into their fence, into their homes, removed the iron bars, got in there and murdered them. It is so despicable to hear about this kind of thing. I was in Liberia when I got to know about this. And then recently we hear about Princess Cooper. We've seen demonstrations and people are protesting because it seems like no conclusion again. And it's coming nearer because I watched or YouTube, I think it's what Liberia TV network or Spoon TV. I watched and found out that the police was so quick to jump to conclusion concerning this very particular issue about Princess Cooper. It was really sad and painful to see that the police spokesman came up and mentioned that there was no bruises on her body, there was no laceration. But then it happened that this TV show went over to the crime scene and they were able to show blood on curtains and gloves. And they show a spill of blood on the floor where they met this young lady's body. And he was so quick to conclude that her relative who were part of the EPS was there at the morgue when they looked at the body. There are so many other things that could have caused her death. But why jump to conclusions so soon? In fact, the crime scene wasn't protected. Yeah, I saw some police officers, 3 of them, but they allowed this guy, this TV crew to go in there and videotape and video what already happened. I didn't see the protection of that crime scene. Everything was still on the floor. The blood, the cuttings, everything was still there. What protection did it give to that crime scene? Rather, the police spokesman came up and said that there was no foul play. How could it be so fast to jump to such conclusion? I know the Fawaz, they have their building material stores in Monrovia and whatnot. I've passed there many times to see it. And not to see it in particular, but I drove in front of it. But I think if anybody even leave from their country and go to our country to do business, they should be held responsible for something that happened under their watch or within the vicinity. It happened, the body was found, as it was said and as I watched, in the backyard. And I have not seen or heard that these people were arrested and are being interrogated for what must have happened. So I know safety in Liberia is an issue because I drove in Liberia. I saw so many cars. It was just crazy, and that's a sign of lack of safety, because if you have keke and motorbikes and everybody crossing before you. When I was in Liberia, a young man explained to me from Habel, has 7 motorbikes drivers were killed within a week because they don't wear helmet, and it seems like it's not required. Because if it was required, while in Monrovia, I saw so many young men riding motorbikes or driving motorbikes without helmet on. So there is no safety in that. You don't have helmet. I saw a lot of the motorbikes, they didn't have license plates, they didn't have stickers. I don't know if they gave them license. I'm not sure of that, but I saw a lot of them without those things that cause safety. And they come across in front of you, they hit your car. I remember I was driving and someone reversed his motorbike at the back, in the side of my car and scraped it up. Beautiful cars in Monrovia are all scraped up because of the I know many people might think he's castigating Liberia or whatever. That is not my aim and aspiration. My aim is to see Liberia becoming second to none in the world. You know, I was watching a man from Tanzania, an African-American guy, who said, go black to Africa. I watched his video, and he was in Monrovia, videotaping there as well. And he made a statement that actually struck a chord in me. He said, if Liberia is the first nation in Africa that wasn't colonized so many years, and is lacking behind so many other countries. He said he visited 13 countries, and Liberia was the least of the 13 that he visited. When I watched that, it hurt me, because he's saying the truth. There's no way I could argue concerning this very issue or what he was saying. It's the truth. Liberia, we claim, was never colonized. It's the first black African country, even though we have Ethiopia, but Liberia, it is said, was the first. And development is so slacking in Liberia because of all of these situations. There are no security. Our police officers, 95% of them don't have weapons, don't have handcuffs, don't have nothing. All you do, you see them standing at stoplights that is now obeyed anyway, because the friend talk about safety. If you are at a stoplight and the light comes on moving, there are just very few stoplights that they actually stopped. And I remember when I was in Liberia and I stopped at a stoplight, or I'm taking the left lane and there is an arrow and I go through there, the police will come and tell me that I was on the line. But they were allowing other people to cross while the light was red. But I was waiting for it to turn green to turn. They came in and tried to arrest me because he said I was on the line. And when I refused to listen to what he had to say because I was trying to explain to him, he insulted me. He insulted me. And he was a police officer. You see, it is so hard. And then we talk about, the safety situation. If you have those that are responsible for safety in Liberia are not fully equipped. How can they actually do their job? They don't have vehicles. If someone run the red light, they can't run after them. You know, I was around where the president lived. I was driving past there one day, and it just got through raining. And there was a pickup truck that had this iron bar in the front of it, and there was another car in front of him. And he came and hit the car in front of him and pushed this guy clear off the road, destroying his back fender. And this guy couldn't understand. We were all parked waiting to see what was happening. And there were 3 police officers standing there. But when this guy got down and the pickup truck reversed and began to escape, the guy jumped out of his car, ran after the pickup truck because the traffic was so bad and there was no way that the pickup truck could go escape. He jumped at the back of this pickup truck and began to destroy the pickup truck. He busted the glass and everything on the pickup truck. And all the police did was to open their arms. So safety issue and security issue in Liberia is terrible, I must admit. I might get comments saying that, oh man, you castigating Liberia, you're saying bad about Liberia. But look, I tell you, no one is more Liberian than me. I was born in Liberia. I love my country. I go to visit once in a while. Okay, I'm doing everything I can in my power to bring some development to a little part of Monrovia. But no one can tell me that I'm not a Liberian. I remember I was questioned once by a commenter who said, are you truly a Liberian? Yes, I am truly a Liberian. But when there are things going on that are not right, we need to talk about it. You know, there are so many reasons when we talk about safety and security. The garbage is a sign of unsafe environment. If you have so much garbage, or garbage is all over the place, mountains of them. You know, one thing I noticed about Liberians, we always try to clean up when something is happening. Even some of us in our own very homes. We will not clean up our homes until a visitor is coming. Because I watched on YouTube, people are saying, oh, because of the upcoming bicentennial programs and whatever, so Monrovia is being clean. Why are we waiting for a situation or something or a celebration before we clean Monrovia? Why should we wait for that? I think we need to get ahead of stuff. Keep our city clean. So when people are coming in for whatever program or whatever celebration, our city is already clean. You know, it's so painful. So security in Liberia is difficult. When I was there, we had these vigilante guys who was around our home and the community, they kept it safe. I just got a call yesterday from Liberia. How these guys missed us so much because when we were there, the entire community was up and running. Things were going on beautifully. We had lights. We had things happening there. We hired most of the community members were working there, building our homes. And now they called yesterday, said they missed us a whole lot. I feel very blessed to see that our people missed us, the vigilante group missed us because they were to stop, but I went to them and I talked to them. I said, no, don't stop. And they told me, we will not stop until you leave. We're going to protect you and your wife here until you guys leave. But it hurt me to know that they are not protecting the community anymore because the community members have not been able to support them. I was told by the leader that the community members failed to support them. In fact, some of them was accusing them of beating their children because their children stole, and I was the only means of the family being supported is from the children or their kids stealing and selling things that they stole. So safety in Liberia is not the best right now. I know many people will say, oh, you know, Monrovia is safe and Liberia is safe. Yes, to some extent. I know when armed robbers are there, the police deal with these situations. But it's not only armed robbers. It is other issues. There are other issues in Monrovia that things need to come to a head by the security being fully supported, vigilante group being fully supported to bring total peace and tranquility to our people. People go to their homes 6 o'clock. They are locking their doors. Stores are being closed at 4:30. All stores are shutting down and because of insecurity. When I used to live in Liberia, stores used to open up to 11, 12 o'clock at night. I remember there were pharmacy who used to be 24 hours. But it's not like that in Liberia anymore. It's because the unsafe and unsecure situation that Liberians are faced with while living there. Right now, there is no electricity. Electricity has been rationed in Liberia. There are some quarters that don't even get light. They don't see light for weeks. And then the finance minister will say, let's pray for the next 2 months so rain can fall. That is a sign of insecurity. That is a sign of unsafety. We cannot and we must not condone such thing. I'm not saying anybody should go and do anything rational that is not rational, to go and do anything wrong. But we need to speak these things out so that the leaders can know that Liberia needs more security. Protecting our borders is very beautiful. But what's about the citizens within the borders? We need to equip our police. I understand that even at times they bring the military in to bring some security. At LPRC, the last time I was watching, I saw this situation, the military. Why are the military there? This is now an army situation. This is a police situation. Police need to go there. SWAT team and others needs to go there and take care of issues that are disruptive and disrupting the life of our people. Not the military. The military need to remain in the barracks. But is that a sign of security? So, my friend, I hope I answer your questions, and those who have been concerned about the security of our country. We have a long ways to go. And I want us Liberians to support the security sector of our country. Because when we go to visit, our life is at stake. We see that Air France have said they're not going to go to Liberia because there is no sufficient light at the airport. I mentioned that once when we got to Liberia, people were using a cell phone light to check our documents. That is not security. That is not safety. That is not security. That is not safe practice. So now they are not going to fly to Liberia anymore. I flew on Air France when I went to Liberia. Now I cannot go on Air France anymore, and I liked it. But even though they have their shortcomings, and I watch videos about the shortcomings in Monrovia at times, but because of lack of security, Liberians are not safe. And so if we get few people who have security and the rest of the population don't have any and they are not secure, there are people doing whatever they want. You know, I was there, I was one time, a man told me, Isaac, if you sit outside, the armed robbers can just bash in your house. And that night we were sleeping and someone came and started to scream, oh, armed robbers. And we all jumped out of our beds. And I was trying to rush outside and they grabbed me and said, no, you can't go outside. Don't go outside because armed robbers. And they didn't see any armed robbers. There was no armed robbers around. But because of that paranoia that they're faced with in Liberia, everything they think that somebody going to harm them because of lack of security, lack of safety. So the whole house was just scatter. People were running here and there. So we need to buckle up. We need to step up and bring total security where our people can be safe in Liberia. Not enter their homes and murder them. And the police tend to defend it. I remember a man came up and said that some people kidnapped him and he took him somewhere and people were being murdered and whatnot. And the police started to go from community to community to dispute the fact what the man was saying and saying that he was lying and the lady was lying and this was lying. I don't think that is the work of the police. The police is there to investigate and make sure that the public knows exactly what has happened and what is going on. Not to go and defend the situation. It really appalling to see police defending these kind of situations and said, it didn't happen that way. They lied. It didn't do this. No, I don't think that is the work of the police. The police is there to investigate and make sure that the public get to know about what is truly happening to protect themselves too. When some of these late president's sons were being murdered, I heard that they should put CCTV over at their homes. CCTV, is that the work of a person to protect himself? What is the nation doing? What are the security apparatus doing in Liberia? That we have to put CCTV at our homes to see who's coming in to murder us. But I just want to say to my subscribers, keep up the good works. Keep subscribing. All right? I really do appreciate what you have done. And also, keep your comments coming. I really appreciate them. I really do. And I really want constructive criticism. If you would like to criticize whatever I've said, give me ideas. Let's talk about it, okay? And those of you who maybe my video was shared with you, please take the time to watch it. And please watch it to the end. Don't just watch it halfway and leave it. Watch it to the end and actually see and hear what I have to say, because somebody have to say something. Somebody have to say something about these things. So Liberians, be safe. And I love you. Bye. And I'll meet you again. Take care.